B for the Indian Creek unit. And in the common to all section, we're gonna refine the language as Becky captured it from Kelly related to authorization of range improvements. And then also that first bullet favoring recreation, we're gonna alter that. So
The recreation high use area,
yeah, okay.
we'll eliminate that.
All right, and I think between Becky and I, we've got that for the official.
Okay, Brooks, get ready. Oh,
Ready to rock.
we're gonna do paleontology, whatever it is. Jamie, you got a comment?
I just had just a quick question before we get into that. Hypothetically speaking, if we don't get through all of these, what happens?
Nothing per se in terms of there just isn't a recommendation. That was one of the reasons we were asking yesterday to prioritize the more important ones. But as a matter of process and moving through, this is all helpful. It may be, let's see, we're at 11 o'clock. We probably have about another half hour. If the group wanted to take 5 minutes to identify the ones that were the most important, that you wanted to make sure you had a recommendation on, we could certainly do that. I'm just suggesting as a facilitator, as a way moving forward to address, that you could choose to do that. We could look at the list that we had and say which are the alternatives that address those, or you could continue to do as we're moving forward, recognizing that we probably will not make it through all of them, and we'll have the recommendations on the ones that we have right now.
So are we on record as basically saying we didn't address all the others? Or?
Yeah, but there's no, I want to make sure that you guys, we gave you a very difficult task in a very short amount of time. So I want to make sure there's no sense of failure with this. You have been completely successful in my view, at least at this point as a facilitator. And I want to encourage you and hope that you as a group feel successful in the way you've come together and engaged in this. But if there are things that are really important, I know most of you did your homework and had things that you came to the table that you wanted to make sure we addressed. And we captured some of those items yesterday. We could take a few minutes, Bruce, if that's okay with you, or if the group, if somebody actually would be better, if one of you makes a recommendation, that we maybe take a step, prioritize which ones you want to hit, and then move forward from there for the remaining.
And I apologize, I didn't mean to derail us.
No, I don't think it's a derail. I think it's a very good point, and I should have actually, as a facilitator, realized. And I've made some other room. I was thinking that I would wrap this all up at the end. It looks like we're moving through and making recommendations as we go. So we basically have until about 11:45 for the remainder of this discussion. And then we'll be at the point where we're ready to.
We can't go over the time.
It wasn't announced in the Federal Register that we would go longer. I'm not sure. Ed, you may know the exact rule on that. I thought we had to kind of stick within the time frame that we had.
Yeah, I think Miles has a wonderful.
Well, I was just going to say, the Recreation and Visitor Center is huge. And for us to just pick alternative A, B, or C, that's going to take a little more time. So I would suggest that we try some of the other sections that are smaller, maybe wildlife, and I can't remember what else. There's a couple others that were smaller that I think we could get through fairly quickly. But to get the recreational visitor centers, services, and maybe paleo, those are big, you know, but definitely we need to touch paleo. But recreational services is going to take me a while to wrap my head around that.
Well, I think we can go long.
Okay.
The public is here that's going to be here, and if you want to finish, some will have to leave, and you may lose a quorum. If you don't lose a quorum, you can continue to operate. And that lends itself to picking the most important things and work on them. And then some of the other stuff, folks who feel like, if the chair feels like you all want to continue and roll through some of the others, then you can.
Thank you. And Gordon, I know you have a flight that you need to catch. So when we get to that point, then maybe we can make that determination, or is that something you'd like to do?
Well, I
right?
agree with Miles. I think recreation is like 8 pages or something. Maybe we could address patio and wildlife, some of those, and leave recreation to the last. I don't know. Whatever you want, vegetation.
Bruce, I motion we go to recreation.
Okay, we want to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Brooks.
That's all right.